YouTube, it's Maddie the Emptiness Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped by. Today is New Year's Eve. It's the afternoon and I thought I would just check in because I have not been on YouTube in months. And I apologize for that. But if you're returning, I'm super glad you came back. And if you're brand new, I hope you enjoyed the video. So today I am doing my top 20 for 2022. These are going to be products that are not new in 2022, but are products that I go to time and time again every time I am either scrapbooking or card making, and they are my favorites over time. And I think a video like that is way more useful than what just came out and I tried for a day or two. So without further ado, let's get into it. So my first item is my ATG gum. This I have been going to over and over again. It is absolutely by far the most cost-effective tape runner. There is a learning curve to refilling this, and I am the go-to person in my little group to help people refill their guns, but there are a million YouTube videos that show you how to do that. If you like, leave a comment below and let me know if you'd like me to do a video on it, but I promise you it is easy peasy. There are actually arrows pointing you in the right direction. But for these refills, I purchased them at Tape Jungle. At the time, I bought a bunch. I think it was 20, and it came out to $2 a roll. You can't beat that. It's a roll of 100 feet. So this is my favorite. It is a great adhesive and absolutely the most cost-effective tape runner that I have found. It's reliable, never lets me down, and I believe the refills have gone up to about $2.50 a roll if you check. You have to buy it in bulk, so I bought, I believe, a case of 20, and I'm running low, so I may be checking as well. Let me know if you want a link to Tape Jungle, and I will provide that for you in the comments. If you comment. Okay, this is my large tape runner that I bring with me to crops. It is quite a bit thinner. These Easy Runner Grands are readily available on Amazon or all over the internet. They are reasonably priced, but the refills are expensive. So I only bring this if I'm going to an all-day crop because I like these refills to last me as long as possible. But it is good adhesive and I do enjoy it. Same here with this little Tombow tape runner. If I'm going on a crop, I bring one of these and a couple of refills, also readily available on Amazon, and the refills come 3 in a pack. They're quite a bit pricier than the ATG, but I do carry these in my crop bag. I do not try to bring this Mondo guy in my crop bag, but this is what I use pretty much exclusively for a tape runner in my craft room. So I hope you find that helpful. Next up are trimmers. Trimmers are absolutely one of the most used items in my craft room, and I have my favorites, and they've been my favorites for quite some time. So this is my Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer. It is a smaller one. It cuts beautifully. I use it exclusively for card making. It is too small for scrapbooking, but you never have to replace the blade, and it's super duper handy. Doesn't take up a lot of room at all. However, I am a scrapbooker, and this is the guy I use and have been using for many years. It is the Fiskars trimmer. This one has the 6-inch base. I really enjoy the little bit of a larger base. It does have an arm that comes out, and I believe it goes all the way up to 15 inches. You see that? 15 inches. Gonna close that up. But if you want to cut 12 by 12, you can't do it on the little guillotine. I do enjoy the guillotine for card making. It's much handier and easier, but this will never leave my craft room. This has the wire guide. So if you're not familiar with that, I gotta unlock this. The wire guide is something that Fiskars has on some of its trimmers. So I put a piece of paper there. If you can see, let me move it down. If you can see, there is a wire line that goes down. I'll try with the white, maybe it's better, because you can see exactly where you're cutting. And if I am working on a scrapbook and I want to trim a photo and I want it in a pretty exact spot, see if you can see that better, the wire line, then you can know exactly where that cut's going to be. I have a little bit of trouble doing that on this one. Excuse me. The last trimmer I'm going to show, which is probably the one I have here the longest in my craft room, is pretty much the same trimmer as the other Fiskars. It's got the wire guide. It's got a pull-out piece that lets you do 12 by 12s and measure it. And it's just got the smaller base here. And I take it with me on crops. I find it handy and useful. For these slide ones, you do have to buy blades. So here's the blade. I hold that blade in because it's in my crop bag and with a rubber band, and I just don't want to lose it and have it fall out. But this is the trimmer I take with me for a crop. That's all the trimmers in my room. I am very happy with that setup. Next up, I've got a selection of stamp positioning tools in my craft room because I'm a maniac with them. I am obsessed. If you saw, I had a video not too long ago about alternatives to the Misty. If you're unfamiliar with the Misty, it was the first stamp positioner that came out. Everybody loved it. It is and was quite pricey. So I don't know, I think it must have been a couple of years later that competitors came out on the market, but unfortunately, a lot of them had to stop producing in the United States because of a lawsuit about the patent. So while you could still get them, I picked up this Stamp Perfect. I still love it and use it. It's smaller. I guess it's more comparable to the Mini Misty, but I won't spend a lot of time on it because it's not really on the market anymore. I will say this, if you find it on eBay, nab it. I bought it for either $10 or $12 new, which is quite a bargain compared to the Misty, which is basically one of the only ones that are available in the United States right now. This one, Stampingpro, I got much more recently. I saw a video on YouTube, and it was not this exact one, but it did have the Stampingpro mark there, and it looked exactly like this to me. So this one has the label Artemio. So I don't know if you could read that there. Let me open it and see if you could read it better. I'm gonna see the blue there, Artemio. And this one has no edges around, so you can't butt it up to a corner if you want to ensure that you put your paper, if your paper moves in, put it in the exact same spot. What I did was I took a piece of fun foam and cut it along the bottom. It is pretty much the exact same thickness as the edge that comes up here. And this one works on a spring, and I really do like it quite a bit more now that I have an edge for it. So if you want to try that, I picked this one up on Amazon. So if you just Googled it on, typed in Artemio in the Amazon search, if they're still selling it, and it was only a few months ago, that will pop up. So that's my recommendation for what is possibly still current and available in the United States. If you live in Europe, or pretty much I think any other country, you are probably still able to get the Stamp Perfect. As I said, it's smaller, but if you're a card maker and you feel that size would work for you, I can't recommend it enough, especially at that price point. So next up, I want to say, let this peek in. Number 3, my electronic die cutting machine. I love this to pieces. I have the Gemini, and I can't say that it's better or worse than any of the other electronic die cutting machines because I have never tried another electronic die cutting machine. This one works for me. I use it with a magic mat. I have a video on the magic mat if you're interested in that. And it is one of my go-to favorites. Use it all the time. Next up, I want to recommend the heat tool that I use. This is the Wagner. I keep it plugged in and hooked up all the time. I use it for embossing, and it works like a charm. That one also readily available on eBay. I believe there's also another name that it used to go under, and I know that there's a newer version. I'm happy with what I have, so I'm gonna leave that go. So for those of you who do enjoy a heat tool, you know that you can use it to dry any of your projects, but what I use it most of the time for is embossing. So this is what I use, Versamark. I've not tried any of the other ones, so there may be better ones, but I'm happy with this. So I have no need to go out and try another one and see if it's better because this serves me well. Versamark. Next up on my favorites for 2022 is number 6, the Versafine Claire. Same thing. It's the same company, but these are the colors. I use this for embossing all the time. These inks stay wet long enough to emboss over. So you put on your powder, you heat it up, and boom, you have a shiny embossed image. I love that. I am collecting all of the colors, but this is my go-to, the black, and the Versafine, the Versamark I use with clear quite often, or white. So that being said, the embossing powders that I use to go along with that are the Ranger powders. I'm sure there's plenty of great. This is what I tried. I haven't used it up. Works great for me. This big one is clear. The smaller one is white. Those are my most used. I only have a handful of embossing powders, but these are what I go to almost exclusively. That said, I always try to remember to use the powder tool. This one is readily available on Amazon. However, this embossing buddy, I believe I picked up at Stampin' Up. It's quite a few years old, and it works like a charm. Excuse me. I have tried other ones, and I've not been as happy with them. So this is what I'm using and recommending for the long term, what I really enjoy. Next up, coming in at number 10, because the embossing powder was number 8, the powder tool was number 9. Number 10 is my pickup tool. Now, I know every company and the exciting folks are all coming up with fancy schmancy pickup tools. This guy, I've been using, I believe, a couple of years already. There are plenty of different ones available that look just like this. I'm sure they're exactly the same, readily available on Amazon. It's got a wax end that picks up. There are also spares that come with it. I believe you can even buy more if you want to. And of course, pokey tool on the other side. I love this, and I use it all the time. Next up are my tried and true reverse tweezers. So many of you probably have this. I believe this is EK Success Tools. I've had this pretty much since I started crafting. You squeeze it and it opens. These are filthy, disgusting. It's time to replace them. But for now, this is what I have. This is what I use. And that's what things start to look like when you are getting good use out of them. Okay, next up, favorite blending ink. My Distress Oxide. I pulled out my favorite colors: Kid Flamingo, Squeezed Lemonade, Salty Ocean. These blend like a dream. I know there are other crafters who swear by other companies. Simon Hurley makes, I understand, a wonderful ink. Gina K, plenty. This is what I use. This is what I love. I do not have them all. I can't even remember how many Tim Holtz has come out with now. He used to have 60. He came out with bunches more recently. And I've been picking some of them up as I see colors that I like. I've got about 30, so I would say less than half of the collection, but I'm really happy with the inks. I would highly recommend them, especially if you enjoy ink smooshing or ink blending. And for ink blending, this is what I recommend. I bought these brushes on Amazon. They were absolutely very cost effective. If you've been crafting for a while, you probably know that these blending brushes came out by some well-known crafting company. However, these brushes were basically a knockoff of makeup brushes, and then a second company came out and made them in colors, and people were just super excited to have theirs color-coded. So these are mine. I keep them in a Dollar Tree holder. I just put a Lazy Susan on the bottom of this holder that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. And, you know, I am not super happy with that because I can only use the larger parts. I can't have as many brushes as I would have liked, but that's what I'm using for now. And hopefully I might look at a different solution. So the holder is just okay from Dollar Tree. If you just have a few brushes, I would recommend it. But if you have quite a few brushes, then I would say maybe a different solution would be better. But those are the brushes readily available on Amazon. Now, for coloring, number 14, coloring. I have two favorites. I have the Zig Clear Color Real Brush markers. And these markers, as the name might suggest, are have actual brushes on the end. So I'll show you one. That's what it looks like. Open it up for you. And it has an actual brush. So if I take a little piece of scrap paper and lay down some ink, you will see, if you want to see close up, that these are actual bristles of a brush. It's not a foam. So I really like those. It's paint inside. It's like a paintbrush without having to go to the trouble of taking out watercolor paints. In addition to that, I do enjoy some watercolor. I don't know if they're pencils. I guess they're art sticks. They are made by Stablio. I think I said it right. Stablio. I will show them to you. Again, I got them on Amazon. They come in a packet of 24. And they are like chubby colored pencils that are water reactive. They come with a sharpener, so you can use them with a point, which I find super duper handy. And what happens here is you put down your color. See the theme here? I do love blue. So it just looks like a crayon or a colored pencil, something along those lines. But then you take number 15, your water brush, and I don't know if there's a difference between water brushes. I just put water brush as something that I love. And when you put down water, you can see it liquefies. And that is super duper fun. You can, if you get to this early enough, and this is just not watercolor paper or anything fancy, but you could see even that after it dried still liquefied, the Zig. If you really want, and this is not on my list, but it's certainly one of my favorites, if you really want to do it properly, you should use Bristol paper, or I imagine watercolor paper as well. So, water brush, that is number 15. Next up, if you're like me and you make lots of mistakes, we're going with erasers. So, this is the mono eraser made by Tombow. I'll give you a close look if you haven't seen it before. If you make a smudge and it's not terribly horrible, you can get rid of that with this. It's a sort of a sandpaper edge. So if I had a little smudge, and I'll see if I could do a little enough smudge to show you how it works. Just something small like that. So this is one of my inks. Let's say I made a mistake and got some on. Oh, I did that on a wet part. I don't think that'll work. But let's try another mistake. There. Got some on the dry part. We'll see if we can make it disappear. So there's an ink smudge for you to see. And I'm just going to take this mono eraser and see if I can get rid of it. So you can see it's getting lighter very quickly. Gonna try it a little bit more. I think it's probably gonna shake the table quite a bit, so I don't want to do it too much. But if you work it, eventually that smudge will be gone. And if you do that on a card that's been completed, you know how heartbreaking it could be if you feel like you put in all this work and now you've ruined your project. So here, you could see it's mostly gone. Mostly gone there. And if you continue to work it, you would get out the rest. This eraser, I don't know if you've seen it before. Xyron made it originally. Now you can get them at Dollar Tree for $1.25. And this will take away leftover adhesive that you don't want from a tape runner. Works like a charm. I use it all the time. Next up after erasers is my glaze pen. This thing, spelled Glaze, it's black. Let's see if you can see that. I don't have the packaging anymore, so I'm not 100% sure of the company. But if you're interested, I'm going to take a little sample for you to see. It is black and shiny. If you're interested in that, I'll see if I can find what company makes it, but absolutely picked it up on Amazon, and I love that pen. If you have done some black embossing and there's a spot missing, this is your jam. This will repair that for you. Just add a little on and you're in business. Next up, as my number 18 favorite, 18 out of 20, we're getting there, is my Xyron. Here's my baby Xyron. Use it all the time. I absolutely love this. In addition, I have the larger one. It's a 5-inch that converts to a 3-inch. I love them all. Gives you edge-to-edge adhesive coverage. If you're a crafter, you know all about Xyron. You probably have one or two or more. I love it. I use it all the time. Next up, number 19, my Nouveau Aqua Pen. And here it is. So if you've seen that, this is the glitter gloss. And if you want to add a little shine, put that down on the white. You can just see it a bit. I'll put it down on the black. Maybe you can, you're supposed to shake it first. Maybe you can see it a little bit better when it dries. And it just will add some sparkle without having to use glitter. And glitter can be super duper messy. So this is a whole lot easier and quicker. I've had this thing a very long time. Did not dry up yet. It just took a little minute to start flowing again. So I'll let you take a look on the black. Not dry, but you can see it. And on the white, after I got it to flow, maybe you can see it. I'm not quite sure, but it's there. The black is a better view, I believe, on screen. When I tilt it, there it is. The last but not least, let's see if I have some in here because I forgot to bring some over. Yes. Last but not least, Dollar Tree foam. For $1.25, you get 3 of these in different widths. And let me just grab one for you. Pardon me, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring this over. It was something I really did want to include though. There are the widths. For $1.25, you can get perfectly good foam tape for popping up your sentiments or creating a shaker. And I become upset if I am low on this in my craft room, so I run out and try to find. For a while I couldn't find it, and I thought, oh no, what am I'm gonna have to go back to find some other cost-effective foam tape, but this is great. This is what I use. I love it. And those are my top picks for my all-time favorite paper crafting, card making. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it useful. 2023, I will be making a what I would not purchase again video. I did it last year or a few years ago. People seem to enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a happy and safe new year. Leave a comment. Let me know what your favorites are. And if I forgot anything or any categories that you feel would have been helpful or useful, or you want to know what I used for a category I haven't talked about. So thanks for stopping by. Have a wonderful new year. And above all, everybody, stay safe. Bye-bye, YouTube.